Hello humans, and welcome to the video revival of Ask Addi, the first episode. I'm the aforementioned Addi, Addison Smith. I'm an LGBTQ activist, educator, and speaker living in the greater Indianapolis area. A few years ago, I wrote an advice column on Medium for Join the Gender Revolution magazine, and it was one of the more rewarding experiences I've had as a writer, so I decided to use my skills as a digital content creator to bring Ask Addi back in this new format. I'll start with some questions from the old column, but I'm hoping to get new questions from you, dear viewer, for future episodes. I must mention right up front that I'm not a psychologist, social worker, psychiatrist, or mental health professional of any sort. I'm a writer, and who's been around a while. I'm old, and I study queer theory. So if you write in and I feel like you'd better be helped by a mental health provider, I will write back and let you know that. If you've got something that you'd like to ask a friend about, but you're not sure which one to ask, that's where I come in. All right, preliminaries over. Let's get to the question. One of my favorite questions comes from 16-year-old Anonymous Confused. They write, how should I identify? I identify as pan, but some people say being pan is trans exclusive. But what I mean is I like everyone. And also, some people have said that bi is already trans-inclusive, but many bi people do not feel attracted to transgender people or explicitly say so. I don't even feel like I need labeling, but people keep asking, what should I say? I have to admit, when I had never heard the idea that pansexual was a trans-exclusive term. That is, you're saying your pansexual is taking a swipe at trans people, that you can't be attracted to them. So I had to do a little bit of detective work, or at least a Google search. I found the argument pretty quickly, and it went something like this. If you say you're attracted to both cis men and women and trans men and women, what you're really saying is that trans people are different and not really men and women, so it's a transphobic term. I thought about it. And I concluded that that is complete bunk. There are two reasons I say this. First, it ignores the way the word is used today. When pansexual was first coined back in 1917, it referred to the idea that sex is behind all human behavior. Of course, it was coined by Freud. Pansexual became linked to sexual orientation in the 1970s. That wasn't a very trans-friendly period, so you might have made that argument then. Today, however, we have a different understanding of both sex and gender, both of which can be seen as being on a continuum. As we say, gender is a spectrum. When someone says that they are pansexual today, what they mean is that they can be attracted to any combination of these two continua. Pansexual can't be seen as trans-exclusive when you look at it like that. The second reason I think the argument pansexual is trans-exclusive doesn't hold is that it ignores non-binary identities. When a person identifies as pan, they are saying that they could find a trans-feminine non-binary person, like myself, attractive. But the cis men and women versus trans men and women argument doesn't include me or any other non-binary person. It is only considering people who identify with the gender binary, whether they be trans or cis. Using this argument today with our current understanding of gender is a form of non-binary erasure. I understand that it's not intended that way, but following the logic of the argument doesn't allow for non-binary identities. Now for the big question, how should you identify? I'm not going to answer that. I simply don't have the right to tell you what is best for you. No one does. If you feel pansexual as you understand the term is the right term for you, then feel free to call yourself that. If you don't want to put a label on yourself, go with that. Tell them that you identify as yourself, your name, and it's no one's business whom you're attracted to. If someone tells you that you shouldn't call yourself pan, tell them it's nobody's business what you call yourself. If someone tries to give you a better term for your sexuality, tell them it's nobody's business how you identify. Are you seeing a theme? If you really want to, you can engage with them and tell them how you understand the term and hope that they too will understand. You can show them this video if you want. Yeah. The point is, never let anyone, not even me, tell you who you are. No one. You discover who you are, you create who you are, and then you tell the world about you. Okay, that's it for the first episode of Ask Addi. It's an abrupt end, isn't it? Wait, the business stuff. Let's send it over to, well, me. Thanks, me. And thanks everyone for watching this episode of Ask Addi. If you want to see more, be sure to click like and subscribe and tap the little bell to find out when new episodes are released. Do it, tap it. Want to hear your question on future Ask Addi? Then drop me a line at questions@addisonsagenda.com. And speaking of my website, addisonsagenda.com, you can go there to find out how to book me to give a talk at your company or organization, either virtually or in person now. Check out my blog on Medium, where you'll find a variety of articles. Coming soon, you'll be able to subscribe to even more videos, writing, behind-the-scenes content, political and social commentary, photos of my cat, chapters of my upcoming book, and more on a Patreon page. I'll let you know when that's up and running. If you'd like to leave a tip, you can Venmo me at Addison's Agenda. Links to all this are in the description. Until next time, I'm Addison Smith. Peace and long life.